hello, and welcome to the show. I'm James PSJ. He's Coleco Bam Bam Yax, and as always, Mitch Jam Mayhem. And this is Wrestling with Entertainment. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Hey, what's up, James? Doing okay, hanging in there.
Yeah, Coleco, have you recovered from WrestleMania weekend?
I mean, it's still a week. You get the hangover, but then you get the WrestleMania blues. Like I tell people, WrestleMania is crack, man. You go to one, you're going to end up going like 30 of them.
Yep.
And this is how bad it is. I'm already planning Tampa Bay still. I'm planning Tampa Bay right now.
So basically what happened is you went up so high, you crashed, and now you're just dealing with the downfall of it and the depression kind of. Yeah.
You like
At the end of life of Coleco.
Be like, y'all got any more of them WrestleManias?
I'm just drawing this out there. Next year's WrestleMania is pirate themed. I'm going to be pissed if Kairi Sane isn't in the main event.
I was just gonna say Kairi Sane, women's champion, confirmed.
Well, Raymond James Stadium has a boat.
And the pirate boat, the Buccaneers.
If they don't use that fucking boat for her entrance, I will be pissed.
Kind of like how I was pissed how Triple H didn't dress up as Thanos. Like, he was handed to him. That was handed to him, in my opinion.
You don't watch cool North stuff.
Well, I mean, it was all over Facebook. They were like, all he had to do was, like, just have Thanos paint makeup, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but
you could have came out with the damn glove.
Instead of Mad Max, shit.
But like when Batista said he was doing Guardians of the Galaxy, he was like, "Who wants to watch a raccoon in a tree?" So like he was shitting all over these Marvel movies.
True story about WrestleMania. I don't know. Okay, if you go back. When I tell you this, go back when you watch WrestleMania and watch the Triple H entrance again. And you can hear at a certain point Batista go, "Oh, race cars at WrestleMania," and like legitimately reacting to Triple H's entrance.
Oh my god,
it's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I didn't get a chance to check the audio. Yeah, I didn't check the audio. We were still tripping on Batista falling in the damn ring.
Yeah, so. I mean, I heard it. I was told of it, and then I looked for it. You know, kind of like I'm telling you. You know what I mean? So that's how I found it, by knowing what to look for. It was kind of hard to find it. But when you do, you're like, you crack up.
It's hard to hear what's being said, you know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah, because of all the audio and the volume in the stadium, or as Hulk Hogan would say, the MetLife Center. Yeah. But, yeah.
Hey, within the Silverdome, it would have been a lot louder.
Yeah, it would have been.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we started a new segment a couple of weeks ago. Kind of, sort of, give you a sneak peek. So now we are actually going to do the full version. We're wrestling with Mitch Mayhem's report.
All right, thank you, James, and welcome everybody to the Minute of Mayhem with Mitch Mayhem. Here is this week's news in wrestling. First off, Austin Aries is rumored to be signing with AEW. Recently, he had on his Twitter feed a tweet that said, "Signed, sealed, and delivered." Could he be on his way to AEW? Go ahead, what?
Greatest man that ever lived.
Okay. Well, I'm not a big Austin Aries fan. I think he's conceited and kind of an asshole backstage. Yeah,
he could be kind of.
That's half the roster.
I think he bought into his shit too much.
But he
believes his own shit.
Excellent talent.
He's absolutely excellent, but I think at some point you got to remember who you are and that you're not above the game and that you're not above anyone else.
Thank you.
In my opinion, I mean, like you could be like competitive, but I mean, like in you know what I mean. That's hard to explain.
Yeah, but if you're the main draw for a company, you have that right?
Right, I understand, but he. Go ahead.
It could help the other talent, they could see that and put a record up their ass to maybe want to dethrone him.
Well, I think that's what AEW did. Like I said, it last week and the weeks before, it upped the wrestling economy immediately just because it made WWE immediately have to want to sign people that instead of 3-year contracts, 5-year contracts, and sometimes double, if not triple, the money. So, like that, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that's more of Austin Aries, people like him. I think it goes nowhere because if you just try to yell at someone, it's not going to work. You have to know how to communicate and how to manage certain situations, even when you're mad, the right proper way as a professional, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Huh?
So. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, please continue.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And then next story: AEW trying to sign. Big surprise! Trying to sign Dean Ambrose.
But that was no surprise.
Yeah, no surprise at all. But that's because they're trying to get name recognition for their TV deal, which is our next news item. AEW TV deal is dependent on the roster size and the known names of the company and the name recognition and so forth that they can accrue. In terms of,
for a minute?
but this is also in terms of TBS and TNT. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, what is name recognition? Are we talking the name recognition of a Dean Ambrose, Kenny Omega? Or are we talking?
We're talking anyone, Chris Jericho. We're talking Jericho. He's got a name. Omega. He's got a name, and they can build on that name like Omega can. They're amazing wrestlers. They have a little bit of spotlight now. They can grow that spotlight and show people how great they are now that they're going to have that ability and that. Yes.
In my opinion, I think the name is where a casual guy would know who it is. Like Chris Jericho, yeah, people like casual fans.
Right, but you can't do TNA 2.0 and just try to sign every guy that has a little bit of name recognition. You got to make new stars. They have great talent that just need a chance.
I get that, but I also see that by them going after Ambrose still in his prime, so it's not like he's has been. And he's
not at all.
And you know how big of a get it would be if they got 1/3 of the Shield. Like that's
right. Oh yeah, big time.
So that would be the biggest grab ever.
Yeah, I should have maybe renamed the Minute of Mayhem because this is going on a lot longer than a minute. Because of the responses, I thought I was going to go right through it.
Mayhem never lasts just a minute.
The never-ending story of Mayhem. Yeah,
I know, right? I've never heard of a 60-minute Mayhem, but usually
well, let's try to get out before we all pass out of exhaustion. Okay. All right. Next, Alexis Bliss and Sasha Banks have legitimate heat backstage to where they have to be kept away from each other, like some catty shit. So yeah, the future of Sasha Banks is very interesting. I think she wants to go. Obviously, she's making the hints she wants to go to AEW because of the creative situation and everything. So we will look into that as things develop. Luke Harper has officially asked for his WWE release on his Twitter page. As we've seen in the past, Vince doesn't necessarily just agree and give the release if you ask. So I'm pretty sure he'll be sitting until October or November when his contract expires. Well, I think it expires in November.
Well, they're gonna hold him for all that time he was out.
Oh yeah, right. They're gonna they're gonna Neville him. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's and then a shame because Luke Harper
he's a former Intercontinental Champion. I saw him at many times. I was like, they are wasting this guy. when I saw him with Eric Rowan, no offense to Eric Rowan, but I was like, I don't get it. Like, this guy's a badass who could, like him, Cesaro, and a few others should be pushed, and like he's just lingering in the tag division with Eric Rowan. Yeah,
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I mean,
it was now or never, and
right. He was, like I said, he was the Intercontinental Champion at one point. Right. And in my opinion, Vince.
Killer match with Dolph Ziggler.
I think Vince dropped the ball. He just like lumped him in with Eric Rowan, and then never got him away. I think Eric Rowan hurt him, being like tied to Eric Rowan.
You know, it's funny. Vince loves big guys, and here's this behemoth of a man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know. You're preaching to the preacher. And Luke Harper is one of the most beloved wrestlers backstage between the boys. So, okay, real quick. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Enzo and Kaz, if you remember that situation on ROH, apparently it was not supposed to go as far as it did, and people in ROH were not happy with how it went. And as of right now, there are no further developments for Kaz and Enzo in ROH. It might be a one-and-done thing. So, two more things. Bully Ray and Joey Mercury have officially gained more control backstage, controlling ROH. And as Coleco said, it showed in the last taping of the last show of ROH. Definitely showed. And last but not least, the lowest ratings in over 5 years for Raw after WrestleMania, with record low number. I think it was like 2.1 or something, or 2.2, something like that.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's getting really bad.
I think I have that with me right now.
Well, shit. If you stayed up watching,
yeah. And that's your Mayhem 10 minutes.
10 minutes of mayhem.
10 minutes of mayhem.
The Raw after WrestleMania drew 2.9 million viewers. That was down from last year's 3.9 million. So a whole million viewers dropped.
Right. They've been having ratings issues for over a year now.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not getting better. It seems like they'll just keep going down and down.
Because did you hear that they brought in what is it? I forget what they called it, but it's like continuance, people for continuance of storylines to make sure that certain storylines don't get just shit canned, and that they follow through with credit. Yeah, like they are actually hiring people to make sure the stories stay on tag. Don't they already have people for that? Isn't that called creative? Last time I checked. What the fuck, WWE?
But I
see, this is what happens when corporations get too greedy and big, in my opinion.
Nah, I think that's because they'll mess around and try to continue a story, and Vince will mess around and redo the whole script the day of, and everybody's like, "Well, what the fuck is this for?" Like, I get it.
It's basically a billionaire man, old baby man's playground. He gets to play with his toys that he bought, basically.
I mean,
yeah, that's what it is for the last 10 years since the Attitude Era. Yeah,
he's been putting in work though. I gotta give him that. He puts
he's made sure he's maintained a monopoly, which is smart business wise, but it's not for the boy. It hurts the boy, and that's why this is better.
This
with
is
AEW.
a good time to bring out the TV deal with AEW, because the decline in viewers of WWE, that could mean viewers for AEW, but it could maybe not, because those people that are not watching it could not be looking for an alternative, or they might be looking for an alternative. What say you guys?
Well, let me say this real quick. Do you think it's just a weird coincidence that when AEW was officially announced on 12 o'clock on the 1st of January, that all of a sudden people started publicly and saying how they weren't happy in WWE, like the Revival and others, or at least weighing AEW to try to get more money from WWE. Instantly that happened. Instantly. So, in my opinion, like I said, yeah.
Yeah,
you know my thoughts.
But from a fan standpoint, are they looking for an alternative like AEW, or are they just not interested in wrestling in general? Are these fans that are jumping ship going to come on board with AEW? That's the
Well, it's
question.
not. It's you could make that argument, but it's not like ROH and Impact's numbers are jumping off the rails. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's a case to it. I just think that some people, when it comes to wrestling, the one thing that a fan doesn't want is to have their intelligence insulted.
Right, I understand, but I think they're the best at that. Like they have their pulse on their finger on the pulse of things because they are fans and wrestlers. Like and okay, so TNT or TBS, wherever they land, that's going to bring them name recognition. Kenny Omega has already stated he doesn't want to go after just hardcore fans. He wants to bring everyone in. So he wants to do things to get normal people's eyes that wouldn't normally watch wrestling. But while not alienating the hardcore fan.
Well, you're not going to be able to do one without the other.
Yes, you can. You just have to do it. It's an art almost. You have to do something new. You can't copy something that's already been done before. You got to come up with something completely new. I think it can and will be done. I believe in Kenny Omega, the Jackson Boys, and Cody.
I'm just saying this. WWE's been trying to do that for the last couple of years. It still is not happening. Like they're trying to toe that line between a real, being real, and yet still trying to stay entertaining. So
right.
It's a hard line to toe.
Right.
The one thing that I will say with this though, I'm interested in AEW because I want to see how it works with their off season.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Not just that, but, okay, when you watch a Raw or SmackDown match, do you really give a shit about the outcome? Do you, Coleco?
Depends on who's wrestling.
Okay, most of the time that's a no, and you know I'm right. Okay,
but the thing is, because for me, I have certain favorites that I would like to see.
Okay.
But, and I get where you're coming with, because they do a lot of filler.
You think?
But I think it's just because they went to that 3 hours. But I think with them going to Fox, and Fox demanding that they be more sport oriented, I can't say that it won't hurt.
But okay, here's the thing though. With AEW, is what I was going to try to say was that they're bringing them. And what I was getting to by asking you that was that they are going to put serious emphasis on wins and losses. Things are going to matter finally. There's going to be a reason behind things. We're going to understand the story arc. Winning and losing will matter again in wrestling. I mean, I think that's a plus, in my opinion.
In some ways, that's a plus. In some places, that's a negative.
Okay, well,
having that mark and all your L's, all those L's can pile up. Like Kurt Hawkins. If somebody sees like Kurt Hawkins, he won 2 matches, but then lost 269 matches.
Because that was how he was booked. That was just his gimmick.
Yeah, but no, I'm just making it as an example.
Well, right. I'm just saying, like, but let's just, and you know this, but for the casual person maybe listening, it's not like these people, like, when they lose, it's their fault. They're told to lose, or they're told to win. Like, it's not their fault. Or okay, yeah, right. Just making that clear. Because some people really, and in this day of kayfabe, you gotta, I mean, like, it's real. It's just the outcome is the only thing that's, like, coerced, in my opinion.
Like wins and losses already matter, like in Ring of Honor or New Japan, because like they tell you the facts. They tell you, this guy beat this guy so many times. Like, let's talk about Okada and Sonata. Okada's
Japan.
Sonata 5 times.
But that's a whole different audience, though, and to me, I will say this: in WWE, wins and losses matter, because if that was the case, Roman Reigns would be taking some L's. John Cena would have been taking some L's. So,
but it doesn't. The story arcs don't connect. The wins. If someone wins, it doesn't bleed over into the next week. It just like everything resets, and like nothing means anything anymore, like kind of thing. It's like bookie, or what's it? My friend said, brand split, LOL, when like everyone just shows up on every show, yet they go, they say, oh, brand split. Well, everyone seems to be on every show.
Well, now because they're trying to do the shake-up.
Before that.
But I give you where like WWE has this tendency to do that 50-50 booking shit, where it's like you get a win, and then the next night the next person gets another win, and it doesn't show any dominance, right? Like.
Okay. Right, and I'll tell you what this goes down to. You might not agree with me, but it's just the truth. It goes to the complacency of the people up running things. Like, they've become complacent, in my opinion, and they needed an AEW or a competitor to kick them in the ass and give them competition, at least. That's the only, like I said this last week or the week before, the only way you can get companies like WWE to change is by kicking them in the teeth, and then they'll respond.
But the problem is, as a startup.
That's how they changed in the Attitude Era. It's the only reason that they survived.
But they also have to find it. But now WWE is so ahead of the game financially. It's not even a fun. Like,
right?
You would have to have someone with deep pockets to even.
Tony Khan is richer than Vince McMahon. The Khans are richer.
That is true. Eventually, he's gonna want to see some return on this investment.
Right, but they've already. Okay, well, not for sure, but I do know. I've heard a figure of 100 million invested already by Tony Khan.
Could I? If I could step in for a moment.
Go for it.
Nobody was richer than Ted Turner. He was the billionaire.
But Ted Turner didn't have he wasn't hands on. He just bought it and said, "All right, boys, I own a wrestling company now." And then it went to like Ole Anderson, Bill Watts, before it finally landed up in Eric Bischoff's lap.
But the fact that he was,
and you think this new guy is going to be hands on, like? Do you think he's going to be the Vince McMahon of AEW? No.
I mean, is it Tony Khan's son?
No, I don't think he's. Tony Khan is the son of the Jaguar owner.
Yeah. No, his son is like on the staff, right?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. All I know is he's a fan. He's a huge wrestling fan, and here's the thing. He's a huge wrestling fan, and he's saying, "Here's money. I'm going to help you guys. I believe in you. I'm going to invest in you." Instead of doing, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Somebody doesn't give you the right to run your own company. Like,
but instead of it being a Vince McMahon. Instead of being a Vince McMahon that just controls everyone and tells everyone, "You do this, you do that, and don't talk back to me if you have a problem with it. I won't talk to you like a man and work out differences. I'll just tell you what to do." Instead of that, there's a different feeling and a different aura, a different way of doing business in AEW, where it's more worker-friendly in so many ways that I can't cover right now. Like, the corporate atmosphere has killed part of WWE, in my opinion.
Okay.
The part that I loved, at least.
How do you know that the atmosphere is different? They haven't even ran a show yet. The atmosphere as of now, that is here now and leading up to Double or Nothing, that I'm seeing stuff that I'm hearing that people don't know yet. Just stay tuned. All right. Well, we will stay tuned.
Well, we will see. Because I know one thing.
I just can't say everything.
Gonna invest.
There's more I want to say. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's to me. No one's gonna invest in. That's business 101. If they're gonna invest money, they're gonna want some kind of a return.
Absolutely. But to build a business, you're gonna have a few years of loss before you gain money. That's how a good business works.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just wondering.
You have to build it.
I get that. I'm just saying, how long is he going to be willing to take that, right? Right,
and that's a good question, because the Turner, they didn't have him Turner. He was still funding them. It got yanked from underneath him by the Time Warner AOL merger. So it wasn't in his control anymore. So.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like.
So it wasn't like he gave up on it. Is my point. Yeah. It was taken from him against his will. Okay.
I get that part, but I'm just wondering, as a guy,
I just want to make a contrast on
as
that.
a football owner, he's all about the bottom line dividend, and that's what.
Right. Most capitalists are. Yeah.
And I just want to see how he is in a business. How like a business where it's because wrestling. I have this feeling like wrestling is more popular than ever. However, it's not as watched as much as it used to be.
Bingo. Okay, and dude. I'll agree with you.
Am I
Go ahead.
on that one? Like,
But I was gonna say I see where you're coming from. I definitely see where you're coming from in terms of you haven't seen a product besides All In before AEW was the thing, so you want to see it before you're a wrestling fan who's had your hopes brought up before. I get it, so I understand where you're coming from.
yeah,
So I understand your interpretation, but I know it's the things I know and things I've known before, like are gonna make this different than the times before, like TNA and other times that we've had our hopes up.
I mean, the fact that they're doing the one thing that I thought that WWE should have thought about doing, which is an off season, is a big deal. Because
absolutely.
I think constantly being gone, it kind of bores,
Or at the least, just transition the talent to where, Section A has time off this time, Section B or Sector B has time off this time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And with a roster that deep, you could definitely.
Exactly.
Okay. But
they can do that with WWE right now. By 4 times. They have they could split it 4 ways. They have so many talent.
Exactly. But I just want to see how they're going to do it.
Right, I understand where they're coming from. I get it.
Hypothetically speaking, what day would AEW TV be on? Would this go up against a WWE Raw, SmackDown, or would they be on another day?
Well, it's going to be Tuesdays.
They have a patent here. Okay, they've copyrighted Tuesday Night Dynamite, but I'm hearing that because if they make TNT, they may have to change that because TNT does the playoffs and the NBA basketball on Tuesdays.
Well, only in April. I think usually Thursdays.
That's true. They could preempt it and push it up.
They could preempt it because
that's true.
Their main thing is Thursdays
during
the season. So if they have the off season, it would work out perfect if they did their Tuesdays and let's say they October to April and they off season. Then that's perfect.
And they're taking a day that's being vacated currently by WWE. And so they're not, it's their day. They don't have to worry about anyone, basically.
Exactly.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a day after WWE, so it's it's a subtle shot, in my opinion. You watch Raw, the next day you'll watch AEW, in my opinion. I think that's strategically set up, but
But if they go on Thursday, they'll be up against.
And I think that's very smart. What? Say that again? No. Impact tried. They got ahead of themselves. They thought they could bring back the old WCW crew and remake Magic in a Bottle, and with a snap of a finger, by going head to head with them. And they learned real quick it don't work that way. You can't just bring old ships back and think that everyone will get a nostalgia trip.
But they're also bleeding money too. They're bleeding money.
Rub of a love sponge on, for God's sakes. Anyway. It makes David Arquette look like a fucking legend, bro. You know how we used to shit on David Arquette? I love David Arquette now. God bless David Arquette. I'm serious.
Hey.
He takes because he's a celebrity who took wrestling seriously. He didn't fuck around with it. He's serious about it. He understands it and he loves it.
And that's actually wrestling.
He won my respect over time. He really did.
He's competing in Hollywood wrestling.
I know. I saw the match. DDP was not his manager, but walked out with him. His valet.
Yeah. I mean, he's a champion. I mean,
he
won. Yeah, he won a What company? He won a company title. He won a title in a not MLW. It's another one. Yeah, he did. It was a month ago. I don't know if he still has it.
Yeah, he did.
Who was it though? What company? Do you know?
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for you next week, fans.
So stuff is happening with AEW and WWE, and that's soon to be revealed. What's happening right now is World Wrestling with Ring. Let's face it, guys. G1 Supercard was a miss for Ring of Honor.
Yes, because I will say that, like, being there, if you were there for New Japan, you were satisfied. If you were there for, I felt like ROH embarrassed.
Yeah,
Embarrassed New Japan.
It's still just more niche product. They don't bring anything more to New Japan, in my opinion. In my opinion, just the collection of ROH with New Japan dilutes them because New Japan could be standing on their own that good, like making the making those venues, making those kind of shows by themselves.
Ring of Honor got that deal, and then they brought in New Japan to get the butts in the seat. That's how I viewed it.
So I'm having problems with the audio. I couldn't hear you there. Hold on.
The deal with Madison Square Garden, and then they brought New Japan into that deal. That's how I viewed it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, you're thinking ROH got the deal because New Japan came in the deal?
No, but maybe
I can make the argument that they got the deal because Madison Square Garden thought they were getting the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I can tell you that. I can tell you that's pretty accurate because they had the buzz. Yeah, and Marty Scurll's contract. You do know he's not staying in ROW. He's going with his body. Okay, just making sure.
No.
Because when I hear people saying he might stay, I'm like, dude, you're so stupid. They're best friends.
That being said, that ladder match between those three guys are so much better than that. That was probably one of the worst ladder matches I've seen ever.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I didn't. What were you gonna say, Coleco?
Oh, no.
I heard you trying to cut in. Sorry. Okay. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It wasn't much of a show. I wasn't very entertained, to be honest, except for the New Japan stuff. Like I said, it's a niche product still. ROH doesn't bring much to the table, in my opinion, to New Japan.
But I also think that New Japan had stories going into it.
Sure. Because they book a year ahead. They do it right.
And I will say that because that,
and you can tell
with the Naito, I would say the Naito match was really good, very good.
Yeah, there were good matches. I just mean as a whole, like
Jay White and Okada went exactly how I thought it would go because
Jay White's getting better. He's getting better.
He's getting better, but I knew
he's not there yet.
I knew that belt was going right back to Okada. It was redemption.
Dude, he is the Hulk Hogan of New Japan, in my opinion.
Nah.
The new way. Okay, maybe I made it wrong. He's like the Steve Austin, the newer age. Like, you know what I mean?
I'd say he's the Roman Reigns. He's a Roman Reigns.
Okay, if you want to go new, current, Roman, we'll go with current Roman Reigns. There you go. But he's more like the Roman. Maybe not now because
And only say that because the Hulk Hogan and the Hulk Hogan John Cena guy is Tanahashi.
Yeah.
I see. But I was I'm a big Takahashi fan, and Takahashi got injured, and he was going to take that match, and then Tanahashi took it.
Yeah,
that's what. So Takahashi, I think if he hasn't returned, he's going to be returning soon.
Yeah, I think of because they did give Dragon Lee the belt back. They'll give him the junior belt, so that may be a little. Word maybe to Takahashi's going to return. It's been almost a year at this point.
Yeah, I honestly think he's going to be the next champion after Okada. I think he's the future.
I don't know, because last time
I know the Ospreys and the Sosa, but I think I think they were building to make him where he was going to have the Tanahashi spot versus Omega. It was meant for Takahashi. Before the injury happened.
I just think Okada's at this point, he's the guy, man. He's the guy in New Japan.
Well, of course he is, dude.
But I think he's gonna have that belt for a while. You forget
Probably.
The last record he had was damn near 2 years.
Probably. I won't argue that.
I wouldn't put it past him because they already trust the guy. He's already took the ball and ran with it.
Right. He knows that he's not gonna fuck him. He's a great champion who will represent the business the way they want. Right. Everything. Yeah.
With anybody.
Perfect package.
He
can work with anyone and make them better. Make them look better.
Exactly. And
that's when you know you have a star. If they can make someone like who's not that great look awesome.
Well, going back to the Ring of Honor side of things, it seems like Ring of Honor is trying to get that next big talent like Cody. But they're just rehashing old themes that nobody cares about. They brought back the beautiful people. They brought back Ezra and Taz.
Okay, real quick. Okay, besides that, I think like the Impact roster, that is an amazing talent roster, and I think eventually I don't see Impact lasting. Like I think maybe they might work with AEW and like Brian Cage and talent like that. Scarlett Bordeaux, the Smoke Show. Oh my god, like people like that will probably go to AEW or have a relationship in between the two because they're liked by the the Young Bucks crew and the Elite. So yeah, but as I was trying to get to, besides Impact, the free agent market has already been saturated or has already been taken apart. A lot of them, like the majority of it, has already been they've already been signed by like this last 4 or 5 months of Rush ever since AEW was announced. So there's been a universal talent pillaging. They're trying to lock up anyone and everyone they can. WWE is at least
trying to lock. Yeah. And you know what's funny? The one name that I have yet to hear up in all of this that
used
to be a player and no longer I don't hear it. Lucha Underground.
Yeah, that's because they're pretty much out of business. You do know Joey Ryan and Ibalise sued them to get out of their contracts, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then Joey Ryan is for sure AEW bound. He's one of their best friends. So.
Yeah, Joey Ryan. Yeah, that dude. But
he is like people say he's ruining wrestling with the dick shit. Like it is kind of weird. Like I saw the spot where like they all got in on it. Whenever they're putting their heads to like a human centipede, I think the human centipede. Okay, that's what I didn't get because Joey Ryan was just laying there, and then they would just put their head to the crotch area, and I was like, what the fuck is there on to that? In my opinion,
no, we're not talking about this.
This was a wrestling show. I'm just explaining a wrestling show.
We try and avoid this every time, but like
I am explaining a wrestling show. This is a wrestling podcast. I am talking about a wrestling program.
You're talking about a dick wrestler. He's a famous dick wrestler.
Hey! You and Cornette have something in common then. I think he's a great talent. He just has a wacky-ass gimmick.
I mean...
It gets some money, doesn't it? Oh, Coleco. On WrestleMania weekend, real quick, WrestleMania weekend, did you know Joey Ryan did a thing where like it was $30 or $40 to touch his dick?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love it.
Like, that's genius. So much. That threw me off so much.
Yeah, it's a little weird again, but to me, it tells me I'm fucking
talking about Joey Ryan as a game.
No, but to me, it tells me I'm comfortable with who I am. I don't give a fuck.
No,
that's what tells me. I know he's got a hot ass wife, so.
No.
Okay.
I'm pulling the plug.
Sorry, Coleco.
Pulling the plug on this. I just want to I watched the Honor United with Impact Wrestling when Joey Ryan fought Tessa Blanchard. I really like Tessa Blanchard. I think she's the Charlotte of the Indies. I speeded that match up. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that you got to give Joey Ryan credit for. He's brought intergender wrestling back to a forefront of some sort. Before he was doing it, a lot of guys didn't like doing it. And then he kind of made it popular, if you think about it.
Yeah, he kind of became like the...
But he was he was the forefront runner of it. He's like the, what do you call it, forefather.
Yeah, the modern Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, you gotta give it to him. He was the first of that. He was.
You touched on
And
Billy Ray and Joey Ryan. No, Joey Mercury getting more power in Ring of Honor. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you on that. Can you say that again? I'm sorry, the audio is echoing.
You talked about Billy Ray and Joey Mercury getting some more power in Ring of Honor. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on that more?
I'm sorry, but I can't hear the audio is making it to where can you Coleco, can you I can hear you.
Hold on, let me.
Okay. Can you translate?
Let me say it again. I know he had Joey Ryan and Bully Ray running Ring of Honor.
Okay, with Joey Ryan. Okay. Joey Mercury. Okay, say that again. Say that again. One more time.
Joey Mercury and Bully Ray has got more power in Ring of Honor.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, now I hear it. Bingo. There we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. We had audio problems before. We tried to fix them before. We're going with what we can. We got it. We're rolling. So
I know.
We're rolling with what we got. But yeah, I mean, okay. They're taking. Who was it? Was it Delirious who had power before that?
Yeah, Delirious.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's okay. Delirious had it for like 4 or 5 years after Cornette, or I think something like that. Don't hold me to that, but. I think they needed a change, and people like maybe Tommy Dreamer would be a perfect fit, but he's at Impact. So, Bubba and Joey Mercury. Joey Mercury has experience in WWE doing that, been working in the backstage, So, I think, especially Bully Ray, someone like Bully Ray gaining more power, in the long run, it's going to help ROH because they know how the companies or the businesses run more. But like I said, the talent situation, like the talent's been run dry for ROH, so that's a problem. Yeah,
because I think the bigger guys are who, Bob and
PCO. PCO is like 50.
Oh God, those are the guys.
That's one of the nicest people in the company.
So I mean, it just depends. I think Bully. And I hear him on Busted Open a lot, and he's trying to make it to where it's
I know
a little bit more edgy, a little bit more adult oriented.
He's kayfabe. He runs kayfabe all the time. He's always the asshole Bully Ray character.
Yeah, so I mean,
he doesn't break it,
and he does it to like. Oh, he breaks it.
Not every now. But my point is, he plays his character more than normal people do nowadays. Like now, back in the '88, someone like Brody, he would always make sure you don't call me Frank. Don't call me by my real name. You know what I mean?
I think that.
It was big back then.
I know that, but I think it's just because he's a New Yorker, and New Yorkers.
Well, I think he's got a little old school, and he's kind of like he sees how that's gone. They're not bringing it back, but at least like bringing his version of it.
Right.
Well,
I think
maybe on Supercard, there's any indication of how they're going to run things. Ring of Honor's future is not looking great.
No, it's not. I just said the talent dried up. Like. They're gonna have to work with what they got because most the big names were already signed up.
Exactly.
But one person who I was surprised that chose ROH over WWE, who got a WWE contract and said no, thank you, I'll go to ROH, was the Darewolf, old Justin Gabriel. What's his name now?
Yeah.
Mr. 450.
Yes, Daredevil TJ, right? Yeah, PJ Wolf. Yeah, PJ Black, PJ Wolf.
He's wrestled in WWE. Unfortunately, had to experience that.
Sorry, say that again. This audio is messed up.
He might have chosen Ring of Honor because he's been in WWE before, and maybe his experience wasn't very good there. You know what I mean?
Well, I think more people are just. I mean, people. Yeah, he was in WWE, but I think he's probably happier. He's happier, man. WWE is a great. It's a fucking.
And you're just a cog on, as Taz once said, you're just a cog on the wheel. If you're someone who has creative ambitions and wants, you know what I mean? Like, in WWE, you're just a cog in the wheel. And so, like, if you want more recognition, more, like, you know, if you think things are, like I say, are just stale and, you know, kept at a certain point to, you know, because they don't have to pay a higher rate or whatever like it used to be, you know where I'm going with this, but anyway.
Yeah.
I could talk about this for days.
Telling that company line.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, we'll see. But
yeah.
I mean, ROH just gotta try to, yeah, like he said, work with the hand that they go on with, and try to scout.
They got talent. They like I named off what's it? Dalton Castle, Cyrus Young, and many other. Yeah, I just named it. Yeah, just a few off the top of my head.
They have Flip Gordon, I think.
Yeah, they do have Flip Gordon, but it's an open contract. Yeah, like he can work others. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they have him in the fold. So
yeah, no, Flip's a great hand. Flip's awesome.
So it's good to have those.
But you do know, as soon as Flip Gordon's contract ends up, he's going to AEW. He's their buddy.
I think everyone is trying.
Okay, they're friends. Anyone who is like legit their friend is for sure going.
I know Christopher Daniels jumped ship real quick, and he was Mr. ROH.
Dude, a lot of people didn't know how close Christopher Daniels and Kaz, who are best friends, and the Young Bucks got. Like, they got real close.
Well, I know him.
Because they're all from LA. They're all from LA.
I know Kaz and Cody a cigar bar or something like that. I know they were like those guys.
What's that again?
Yeah, I think they run a business. Kaz and Cody.
What's that again?
Kazarian and Cody run some kind of business together.
Cigar business. It's an American Nightmare. It's cigars.
American Rebel.
Yeah, American Rebel. Yep.
So but it makes sense though, and I don't blame them, man. Keep that money rotating within.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that at all. WWE is doing it on a massive level in a corporate entity level. Why can't independent wrestlers on their own name do it? There's no reason. I mean, come on now, let them make their money, man. If anyone bitches at that, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about people, man. You rather be a legend in the ring or
dude, if you're given your fate like that, and like you have the ability to make these deals and everything, go for it, man. Other people aren't gonna sit idly by and like help you. Go for it, dude. That's what Brock did. That's what so many others did when they had the clout to do it. And now that clout's just stretching out. Like I said, it's a wrestling boom, but it's in the independents, and it's more for the talent. It's a hard way to explain this wrestling boom.
Well, let's transition to a wrestling company that seems like they have their shit together at this time. New Japan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Impact Wrestling.
Well, they're doing good, funny enough. I love their talent and I like their TV. I love it.
Unfortunately, I don't get I can't find Impact on my cable right now, and I just don't feel like it's worth going.
Oh yeah, I don't ever watch Impact on TV anymore. I lost what channel they're ever on. I have to watch it on the internet.
It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is Impact Wrestling?
Like, Jesus. Like, what?
Really, pretty much, yeah. NJPW, I think they have a TV deal with Access. You know that?
Access. With Gibbons joint.
Right. And Access is also going to be broadcasting Double or Nothing before the new TV deal for AEW kicks in. So.
Why wouldn't they? Hell, it's
right. What I mean is that's not going to be Turner yet, or you know what I mean. That's not going to be TNT and CBS yet.
Right.
So New Japan, wrestling with New Japan. They announced a whole slew of new matches coming up on the Jordan 4th. And I'm sure we're going to be covering those in more great detail. Just to go over them, Okada is fighting Sonata in a rematch of the New Japan Cup.
And
Coleco,
that's good.
you wasn't here when they stopped the New Japan Cup, so what did you think of that match with Okada and Sonata?
Oh, that match puts Sonata on another level, and it just shows that the one thing that I give New Japan is they are able to match people together, have like intense chemistry, and it makes it look like any right. Like we kind of get stuck. Like everybody's because sometimes it gets a little too predictable. But with New Japan, every match you could actually see it go either person. Like and it helps them that they don't go back to the well a bunch of times. Like the same dudes will wrestle 4 or 5 times in WWE, but these guys they'll touch each other maybe twice in like 6 months. So it keeps that rivalry fresh.
Yeah.
And to me that I like New Japan because they can walk and chew gum. It's like you can have a rival guy and still be going for the title. It seems like sometimes in American wrestling it gets binary, where it's like one person go to the title and then they just deal with whoever is going to the title. When in actuality, New Japan is closer to real life because you're dealing with this guy, but then you have to go with this thing, and then you got this popping up, and you have to go. You see what I'm saying? And it makes the character have to handle all their business before they get to that level, right? And that's what I love about New Japan, like that. And I think Sonata and Okada's going to tear the house down, but once again, my money's on Okada. He's Mr. New Japan right now. So
That's so funny you said that because the it seems like they're practically going well in New Japan. Tanahashi first defense lost it to Jay White. Jay White's first defense lost it to Okada.
right.
Now this is Okada and Sonata's sixth match, and Okada's won every single one. So this would be a good opportunity, hot potato that one more time, get that belt on Sonata. You know what I mean?
It could, but I don't see them doing that with the IWGP belt. Like they don't. Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. If it's not for injury, that's the only time they're really like
Yeah.
kind of hot potato in the belt. Like usually they want their reigns to mean something. Hell, even Kenny Omega's reign was like 6 months. Jay White, some people are gonna say he got a raw deal, but if you paid attention to the story, it was meant for Okada to bounce back from that because he was the guy that had it all. He lost his best friend and manager. He lost the title. He had to reinvent himself and get to another level to get back to this level. You see what I'm saying? So if you follow it all makes sense.
You're right there, but having Jay White only held the belt for a month and losing in his first defense, that kind of makes him look weak. And it kind of makes it look like his win against Tanahashi was a fluke.
But it also
maybe push this like a month or two later and give a defense under his belt. It would have made him look a little bit more stronger.
I could see that, but I could also be like, yo, this is just a test run for him. Like this is the first Gaijin other than this is the first Gaijin other than Omega to get the belt in a while. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean it gave him a run, it gave him clout. Keep in mind that when Naito won the in New Japan title, it wasn't that long of a reign. So it gets him clout, and even with him losing the title, he could always say he's a former IWGP champion, which is nothing to scoff at.
That's true. That's definitely true. Uh, the next match that they announced was Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. They've had a series of back and forward matches as well.
Yeah, they did, and Ibushi gets his big break, the singles title, the Intercontinental title. Um, I to me, New Japan's got like a gang of titles for like not that many people on the roster, so it's just crazy. So we'll see how.
Yeah. Well, their last match, Zack Sabre beat Coda, so thankfully Coda's gonna win this match.
Hold on. Pause up. I think Mitch is back. I think Mitch might be back.
So, yeah, Mitch has been having some technical issues. He actually got booted out for a moment there. Uh,
Yeah, can I just real quickly say, fuck Chinese phones. Okay, let's go.
you need that Japanese stuff.
I mean, you need to get that
Yeah.
Korean shit.
Yeah, you're right. Korean and Japanese know where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need more Samsung in your life.
I know, get some Samsung in that life.
You're right. I was gonna get a Samsung S9, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so
Another model.
Kota Ibushi signing a contract with New Japan has done wonders for his career.
Yeah, it has. I mean, ever since he came back. I mean, I think that Omega, Golden Lovers thing, it kind of a purpose of where he was going. He was there just long enough to get the benefit of it. So when Kenny and them left, he could be back, not to completely where he was before he left for the cruiserweight tournament, but at least close. Because keep in mind, he was supposed to be a big star. He was supposed to have been the next one, and then he kind of took a little hiatus. WWE tried to test that water, and then that didn't work out, and a couple years MIA, and then he comes back, and he's not really doing well in the G1, and then they flirt the whole Kenny thing, and that kind of like gives him a little leg up. He got a couple of wins, but I think that Golden Elite thing kind of brought him back a little bit.
Yeah, and it's pretty much known. I think if I had to make an educated guess, I would think that maybe Kenny Omega works with New Japan by the next Wrestle Kingdom, probably. I think they'll have a working relationship, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Jericho already has in his contract that he could come back.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. And plus, Kenny Omega is an executive vice president, so he's not tied to anything. It's his thing. It's his baby.
Yeah, it's his thing.
Right, exactly. It's like Vince McMahon, right. Let's say again, I'm sorry.
Isn't everybody executive vice president at this point?
Fans, I'm sorry. The technical difficulties are killing me. I can't hear James. I'm getting froze. It's ridiculous.
I think. Well,
I'm so sorry, man.
I got you. I for. But I think with him being the executive VP, I mean, he's still gonna wrestle, but I just think he gets the creative control he's been craving, right? Like where his character, and he gets to look at the bigger picture.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with Coleco and say that Coda being in that tag team, being in the Golden Elite, and all that actually held him back. That he was such a big star on his own, and just hodgepodging him with all those guys has really put him in the background. And he even actually said that in an interview on New Japan's English.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Because that I could make the argument with the fact that like him beefing with Cody and the whole Bullet Club thing kind of like put him in that spotlight, because what was he doing before that?
But he kind of felt it was kind of like it was Kenny's show and he was just along for the ride.
I mean, I don't think he was along for the ride, because if it wasn't for him, Kenny wouldn't, he kind of was for the ride because he really didn't wrestle, but he was kind of like the Bushido Brown to Kenny Omega's Muhammad Ali, right? Like
Ooh, that's a good contrast, bro. All right, I like
he the guy Omega to that level to where he he had to realize he had to lose everything to gain the one goal he was wanting, right? Like that, and that's a big deal. Like it may not be a big deal with him in the ring wise, but it was a big deal as far as the story wise because it brought two people who were a fun tag team back together. And I mean, hell, I still remember. Think about this. He could say it was holding them back, but them hugging and embracing closed the show.
Well, yeah, and I think he had high hopes at that point, but like everything, like they had that one good match with the Bucks, and then I think he kind of felt like a decline. And again, he did this interview on the New Japan English website, so if anybody wants to go see that, I definitely encourage you. It's definitely an interesting read.
Yeah, I would do that too, but I have them listen to it, take an opinion for yourselves. But to me, I think it was more important. It was a bigger. He was a piece to a bigger picture, and it wasn't like it was just holding him back. But
Yeah. Another match that they announced was Juice Robinson versus Fale for the US belt. I'm gunning for Fale here to win that belt. Fale hasn't won anything in a really long time. I think might be his moment.
I think Fale's should be a better person than what he is right now. He should be a way bigger menace and a
I agree. I agree.
Like to me, he should be damn near where Bob Sapp was, right? Like
that's a good. Yeah, you got some good fucking contrast right now, bro. That's that's a good. Yeah, he reminds me of a better Bob Sapp.
Yeah, a better Bob Sapp.
A better Bob Sapp. Yeah, Bob Sapp who can wrestle. Yeah.
So yeah, to me, Fale, yeah, he should have been up there a long time ago. And I remember Omega was saying that Fale should have been up there a lot sooner.
Oh yeah, dude. What do you call? I mean, he's up there, but I mean, like, Tonga. Oh, what's up? I know his name. Tonga. I'm an idiot. Tama Tonga. Yeah. He's one of my favorites now, and he's slow. He was kind of like in the background with the Elite when they were around. He's kind of in the background, but I mean, I am that gimmick they ran where the OG Bullet Club against the Elite. That's what set him apart, and now he's running things. He looks like the leader in my eyes.
Yeah, and the one thing I love about Fale, where he would walk in and then he would have beef with the ring announcer. He just
that's great. I love that shit. And that's more like edgy stuff, and that's the shit New Japan like, more realistic stuff. The fans of New Japan like that because it's more realistic, and not maybe exactly that, but some form of that needs to be replicated, and that's what I think AEW is going to do in terms of like their niche. Where WWE Sports Entertainment, they're going to be more wrestling athleticism.
Right, they're just more display of the athletes,
right? And you're going to tell your story in the ring as a outside of it, right?
The next match that they announced was GOD versus Maccabee and Yano. Yano's only going to be getting this match because he stole the belts from GOD.
But GOD just had the huge win at the G1, so if there's a tag team, it would be them. Like Yano
and the Maccabee haven't teamed in a while. Just tag team.
True. I mean, they tried to give Tonga the single run. Yeah. I mean, they tested it.
It was half baked, in my opinion. They could have done better.
Yeah, but at least they gave him the spot in G1 where he truly display the skills. You know what I'm saying? So
but I just think he's so much. He needs like a bigger stage for himself. He has so much talent, and they just need to let him showcase it more and stop trying to like buckle him down and tell him what to do.
I thought
Let
that
him
they
be
would have
himself.
had.
Let him be himself.
Thought they would have had him fight Omega for the title already.
There you go. That would have been great. Yeah, that would have been a
But
great.
you said the good guy gimmick wasn't really
Use the belt to break up the Bullet Club in the
Yeah.
elite section. Exactly. See,
Yeah.
we're booking better than NJPW. But anyways, yeah, go.
I'm gonna tell Ghetto you said that.
He will kill me. Please
Yeah.
don't. He will kill me with a chopstick in my eyeball.
He'll
Please don't.
send the Jado Master Hito to your door and kill you.
One word, Yakuza.
Ooh.
You don't want to fuck with them.
No.
No. I love all Japanese people.
The next match is Jeff Cobb versus.
Did you hear what I said? I said I love all Japanese people. I didn't know about that. I just heard on that.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys heard that or not.
This is wrestling with entertainment. We love all people.
we love all.
Next match, Jeff Cobb versus Taichi. Why the fuck is Taichi getting a title match here? Like, why?
Filler.
Filler? Like he
gotta
pulls
build
up
a
in
card.
shorts?
You gotta put somebody gotta.
That was just funny. It hit me out of nowhere. Sorry.
Somebody gotta put in those in betweeners. Like they got to stack of cards somehow. Like
James had like such a long intro, and you're like, yeah, one word, just boom.
Yeah. Just
next question.
Down. With
a
one
hot
word.
minute. Taichi is like, on again, off again, here and there. So it's
Well, hold up a minute. When was he ever on?
it's just weird. They got him in that weird spot, and then
They
when
got a
they
lot of people in weird spots.
and then they gave him that little run in the New Japan Cup, and you're like, what the hell? Like,
They like lose before the semifinals. Yeah.
right, and you're like, wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, their push consisted of one tournament win. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good for that upset. He's damn sure good.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, he does, because like he's Taichi again. Like I categorize him like with Yoshihashi, those guys that are just not there. Like they're only there to get beat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the next
All
match,
right, next match.
Yeah, next match.
Ishimori versus Dragon Lee for the Junior Championship. This should be a really good one.
Now that's a democracy. I was gonna say, now that's a democracy. Okay, go ahead.
That could be a show stealer. Because the juniors, man, I love the juniors, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like throwback to a more physical side of like the WCW cruiserweights of the 90s.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can't wait till my boy comes back from his neck injury because he's gonna be a beast.
Who are
Yeah.
you talking about?
I think it's Takahashi.
Of course, Takahashi. Dude, he should be. I think he's like clear. He just hasn't been re-debuted on TV
Because
yet.
I can't wait for him to come back. And I hope
I've been waiting for him. Yeah, I love Takahashi.
because I want him to run the I never lost this bitch. Give me
Right.
that.
I want to see him and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, dude. Or maybe even at the summer show. What's it called?
Dominion.
Dominion.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Time Bomb to come back too. But having him fight the guy that broke his neck in such like an extreme match, is that really the best way to come back? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we'll see how it goes because he's still. I mean, I'm assuming he's still going to be with Lij.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna be excited to see him with Lij and see Lij back at full power. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, because when they're at full strength, man, they're dope, and I just like them because it's only 5. It's not like 85 people like Chaos. It's not 130 people like Bullet
Right,
Club.
I know, right. Yeah, like an old NWO throwback. Yeah.
5 or 6 dudes, and they just run shit like that. That's the good.
I like Naito's L whatever you want to call
They're like a
it.
fuck at this point.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that 6 man.
But just so everyone knows, the reason why I'm not talking as much on this is because I didn't get to see the show yet, and I don't like talking about things I haven't seen firsthand. So.
Don't
Putting it up there.
don't worry about it.
I've been focusing on like I'm sorry, NJPW. Please forgive me and take me back. I will start watching you more.
I'm going to give Ghetto your address. You expect to see Master Hero at your door.
I'm already in trouble with Gato.
You better hope you don't run into Noki.
I know, right?
Dude,
They don't know who's this white boy. Who cares?
who's
I'm a slug in their mind. They don't give a shit.
but
You know, it's
But,
just
yeah,
wandering
I mean-
around, just being tormented. I wouldn't be surprised if he bites you on the head.
No,
or
man.
Haiku. That's who you don't run into Haiku.
Oh,
don't,
I'm cool. Yeah, fuck that.
don't run into. There's a
Fuck
couple
that.
fuck with. Don't,
Yeah, a couple, dude. I would stay, dude. I was gonna say earlier, when like guys like JY or like Juice Robinson and other guys came from America and to become young boys in Japan, that shit turns you into a man real fucking quick. Because
Oh,
they ain't joking. They kicked your fucking ass. That's the training. Let me kick your ass and see if you can take it. That's the first training. I'm serious.
but
So,
Juice from Detroit, so he know.
but he
like,
had to go through. He had to go through the young boy shit, you know, where you have to work your way up again and pay your dues in Japan, you know.
But Juice from Midwest, man. He used to them gunshots, so he's like, shit. I'll take that.
Right. yeah. That's
This
down
ain't
his alley.
Like,
Exactly.
This ain't shit. Like, he can scrap.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Those young lions, like, you know, that, it's the real deal there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've heard stories from people who made it, who haven't made it, like people almost dying in training. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people died in the New Japan training dojo.
Let me just tell you what I heard one person said, and they were both in Stewart's dungeon and in JPW.
Oh,
They said
that's a
they'd
totally
rather.
different
They
thing.
said they'd rather sleep in Stewart's dungeon for a week
But that's
compared to
terrifying.
JPW dojos compared to the dojos.
Stupid
They got
isn't.
one in
Kendo,
LA.
they whip you with kendo sticks. I'm not joking, man. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well,
It's
stupid
hard.
extension isn't
It's the hardest
training.
way
That's just
for a wrestler to
torture
go.
for no reason.
But say again, I'm sorry. I'm having too much
Going
difficulty.
to stupid extension, that's not training. That's just torture.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
that's been in wrestling for quite a while now. So
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but they're like
blood and guts, you know.
their family royalty, like between them. I put it this way: the Hearts and any goddamn person with the Samoan last name, you are part of some legacy. How about that?
But the funny thing, Samoa Joe's the only Samoan not in that fucking family.
Exactly.
I was really going to
Like
say that.
everybody else is related somehow.
And everyone was like, "How's Joe not related?" Everyone thought for sure he was part of it, you know.
Like Joe from Huntington Beach, he ain't nothing.
Joe's from Southern California. He's a
SoCal.
yeah. He's from SoCal. He's a SoCal boy, man. He ain't no joke either. He'll kick your ass and not fucking look twice, bro. He's a
Oh
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For real. Like, yeah.
If anybody could kick any of the still Samoans' asses, it's
Dude.
Samoa Joe.
I would In a company, if I was running a company, I would have used him as one of my main heels, dude. Well, like a long time ago. Like we're talking about like when he was in TNA.
Yeah.
He's been so slept on. It's not funny. It's
Definitely.
him, AJ Styles, and a few others.
How
Are in
was
that
AJ
category.
Styles slept on? He was a champion for you.
He was slept on in TNA. They kept on. They didn't treat him like the man that built the place that he was. They just let him go and shit on him when they did. I mean, like, you know, you treat the Sting figure like WCW. You treat him. You give him the most money. You treat him with respect. They shit on AJ Styles. You know, it's Dixie Carter's fault. Yeah, if she knew how to take care of her best talent and knew how to spot talent when it was there, they wouldn't have had that problem in the first place. And then Bobby Roode, and so many others that followed.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have an admission. I went to that Bound for Glory with Bully Ray versus
Bobby
AJ
Roode.
Styles.
Oh my God.
When was that?
It was October 20th, 2013.
2013.
San Diego VA House Arena.
That was his last year, wasn't it?
That was his last year. Yep.
Yeah, that was the last stretch. When they were doing aces and eights.
Yeah, when they did the aces and eights.
Yeah.
Came back.
TNA had something great. They had something great, and then they shat on it when they tried to go up against WWE. Instead of going, they regressed by bringing Hogan. Hogan's friends. They brought the Nasty Boys on, people that shouldn't have been on TV.
Yeah.
It was obvious nepotism, like, you know, kind of like, you know, you're my buddy, I'll bring you on TV, like Vince McMahon brings on all his family members. So, it's, had that not ever happened, and things progressed accordingly without that happening, I think TNA would be, if not in Dixie Carter's hands, like, in some form of what it was and bigger today, if AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and guys like that had stayed.
Coleco, I was at that TNA show too.
What the hell?
Wait, what did he say?
He was at the show. It's like every show that I've been to in California, he has been to, and it's like we've never bumped into each other.
Were you at the October 2016 Sacramento Memorial NXT show? Anyone? I just wanted
So,
Nah, not NorCal, man. SoCal.
Okay.
SCU.
Gotcha.
So,
You said anywhere, so okay.
Anywhere from LA on down, I got you.
Okay. So how about not San Jose, the Bay Area?
I've been to the Bay, but I only
right. But that's NorCal. So
yeah, I've been to the Bay, but NorCal.
Yeah, but it's NorCal still.
LA's like my Mason-Dixie line, like anything.
Exactly. Yeah. And see, that's funny you said that. To me, my Mason-Dixon line is probably Modesto or Fresno.
me and Coleco I'd like to think that me and Coleco bumped into each other once and just said, "Oh, sorry, excuse me," and then walked away. And then we started this podcast together.
Your friendships. I've just seen a lot of friendships work that way.
Right.
Like you just randomly meet someone, you don't even know it, and then later on, you know it. You find it out. Yeah.
He was at the Survivor Series show.
That's hilarious.
He was at the Raws. He was at the. I'm surprised. I'm shocked I never ran into you.
I know, right, dude? I'm sure. I'm positive we crossed each other at Access at least like 100 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Access was so goddamn like chaotic though. Like it's just.
Oh, I know, and dude, it's true. Some of those fans do not wear deodorant. They do not bathe. It fucking smells.
Or shower.
It's fucking disgusting. There's like a drift sometimes. It comes from like the front. It made me almost pass out one time. I was like, oh my god, it smells like the inside of a rat's asshole.
From a to all my future WrestleMania goers.
Thank you. Tell
In a
us.
hotel room.
Wash your ass.
Shower.
Okay.
Please.
Wash your fucking ass.
And I think we're not gonna get better than ending than that.
Wash your goddamn ass.
From White Ashes to this has been Wrestling with Entertainment. Coleco, you guys give your Twitters out, and we'll end this.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Go ahead, Coleco.
I am Coleco, and if you follow me, man, you'll see my picture in the New York Daily News. I got it up there. That was probably the highlight of my week at WrestleMania, finding out that there's possibly 4 million people looking at my ugly ass face. So yeah.
And then you can find me on Twitter at Mitch Mayhem X. If you come to my page, you will not pass go. You will not collect $200. Sorry.
And you can find me on Reddit. I'm James J777.
That Monopoly joke went over everyone's head. Okay.
Yes, it did. I remember. Oh, I remember Monopoly.
Yeah, you guys will catch it. You guys will figure it out after we're off air.
Yeah. This I am James J. As always, my co-host Kaliko Yaps, Mitch Mayhem, and this is Wrestling with Entertainment.